Howdy, I'm Dr. Joel O'Brien, an associate professor in the Department of Physics and Astronomy at Ball State University. I began my career in physics education as a high school teacher. I managed to teach 13 years of high school physics before I moved on to the university level. During that time in the 1990s, I spent 8 years at one particular high school in the Dallas suburbs. It was a large high school, and I started with one physics class, and by the end of my 8 years, I taught 4 classes of physics, and we hired an additional physics teacher. Sometime during that period, I got the idea, or someone gave me the idea, that we could go to the library, check out the VHS camcorder, big huge one from the library, and we could film things in motion and then take the video cassette back to class, put it in the VCR, put an overhead transparency over the film clip, and by using frame by frame and pause advance, we could put a dot on the location of the object in each frame. Students could then take that transparency back to their desk, and they could make measurements of the distances between dots, and knowing the time between each frame, they could make their displacement, velocity, and acceleration measurements the same way we would do whenever we use the ticker tape for free fall of gravity or for constant motion. In those ticker tape experiments, students would run the tape, they would take the tape back to their desk and measure distances between dots and calculate velocities and accelerations. So it was a really neat idea and something to try. So sometime around 1994, maybe 95, I took my physics class to the gym, and we got a basketball, and one of the students went up to the top of the stairs in the gymnasium, and we borrowed the camera from the library, put in a VHS cassette, set it on play. The student dropped the ball. We made 2 or 3 runs of this and thought, okay, we've got it. So we decided to go back, we went back to the classroom, took out the cassette, put it in the VCR, watched it play in real time, and then decided, okay, let's get out the transparency and let's put it over there, and then we'll say go, pause it, and frame by frame we'll mark the location of the ball. I was really excited to try this out, but I was terribly disappointed, because once we put the video in and set it on play and then paused, the video was so blurry you couldn't even see the ball. We had no idea where the ball was. The filming technology just wasn't up with the idea. So I kind of put that to the side, and it wasn't until maybe 10 years later, when I was a doctoral student at Texas A&M University, that I went to a conference and we examined a software program called Measurement in Motion that actually did this. You would put in the CD or DVD disc, and the software would play the video, and with your mouse you would click on the location of the object in each frame, and then you would be able to get positions, velocities, accelerations, and anything else you wanted. The digital video filmed at 30 frames per second, and it worked wonderfully. The problem was this measurement in motion, or learning in motion, was only good for Apple products. I contacted the manufacturer and asked them if they were going to come out with a PC version, and they gave me the typical Apple line, well, our Apple videos are so much better, we'll never put this out on PC. But this was really about the first marketed product for this. Very soon afterward, other people started making similar products. The first one I used that was good for not only Macintosh but also PCs was something called World in Motion. Later became known as Physics Toolkit. A guy put out a version of a software called Tracker, and then one that was endorsed by the American Association of Physics Teachers was called VideoPoint. I used VideoPoint in my classes at Texas A&M for a few years, and then sometime shortly after, LoggerPro by Vernier added video analysis capability to their software. And what was really good about Vernier's Logger Pro software was that the site license, which at the time was about $125, gave you permission to load the software on every single computer in your school. It also gave you permission to make copies of the software and give to all of your students. I think Vernier's idea was, what good is the software if you're not buying the probes? Well, with video analysis, you could install the software on all of your computers and just use the video analysis. You could film your own objects in motion. You could find video clips from the web, but anything that had been filmed or could be filmed was capable of being analyzed in this video analysis software. So today, Logger Pro is a little more expensive than $125 or $150 for a site license, but it's still a very good buy because of the license that allows you to install it on every computer and give copies to every student. Many schools already have Logger Pro or Vernier in their lab rooms, so you've already got it. Why not use it? It's a really good tool.